Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video we're going to talk about an article in Natural News on February 2nd, 2024. This is going to get loaded up on the 5th, being on the 6th, being recorded on the 5th, but right here, scaremongering. Climate experts spread absurd myth that home gardening is hazardous for the planet. So this was also copied right here on Freedom Phoenix, and SGT report ran it. And right here, Fox News on January 7th, 2024, they talk about a WAPO article suggesting houseplant ownership could be bad for the planet. But, it took heat, and they were basically told to stop the doom mongering. So it's just getting absurd out there. The New World Order, we know they do not love us, and they really don't want us to exist. You are the carbon that they want to reduce, and if they reduce what is essential for you to exist, like food, well, then they will reduce you. So right here, it says here that a recent study wants people to stop from being sustainably food independent and discourage them from growing their own food in urban settings. And a lot of this talked about, city settings, as opposed to urban, but it did address both. It says here that the research indicated that resorting to garden-to-table produce causes a far greater carbon footprint than conventional agricultural practices, such as rural farms. So, I don't really know about that. They said that a serving of food made from a traditional farm creates 0.07 kilograms of carbon dioxide. And then the study said that almost 5 times as much at 0.34 kilograms per person for individual city gardens. And I don't know. They talk about the raised beds that cities use where, they just have gardening high, that goes high and utilizes space. And when you have to feed people, you have to utilize space. So it's just, they don't want you to eat. And so now they're coming after your gardens and your home plants. Yes, seriously, house plants. It's just absurd. These people, they just never stop. But, right now, they do, talk about food that's, often flown in from across the planet, such as asparagus, right. So how is gardening in your backyard worse than flying food in from across the planet? I want to see their math on that. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. We didn't have environmental problems when people ate from their gardens. We don't have the transportation and the packaging and the transportation packaging. What do you have? If you're doing your home garden responsibly, you have reusable containers, whether, hopefully hemp, the hemp revolution, wood, plastic, whatever, but it's reusable forever. And when you take everything out of your garden, where's your packaging? You don't have packaging. So therefore you don't have a waste stream. We didn't have environmental problems when we didn't have packaging. And when we didn't have the garbage trucks showing up at your home every week where, your town or your sanitation collection company limits you to, a big bin, but that's it. That's what you get for your household for the week, because otherwise people would have as many bins as just they want because they can. So this is just kind of they just want to, start introducing things to you so that you're like, well, I can't have a garden. And right here, it says that especially in a city, it gives city dwellers peace of mind. A lot of people, gardening is their happy place. It's their sport. A lot of people go out and do athletics to clear their mind. Some people do gardening. So it has that whole benefit to it too. And, they cited that there's emissions from trucks that transport plants, plastic pots, and synthetic fertilizers. They're made from petroleum, and the harvesting of soil components like peat can, tear up slow-forming habitats. Okay, there's negative consequences to anything. And let me tell you, the trucks and the transport and the plastic, lots of things, and fertilizers, those happen on big industrial scale farms too, which I'm pretty sure the New World Order is also coming after right now. They're not just about taking away your home garden. They're coming after the big guys. Even though in this article, they make the big guys sound more responsible, but they're coming after the big guys. That's why the big guys are protesting all over the world these days. Because they're coming after your food production down to your garden in your backyard. And right here, this article, even to your houseplants. And so the most sensible thing in this article is a Bjorn Lomborg, a Danish author and fellow at Sanford's Hoover Institute, said that he finds this whole thing silly. He's talking about plants. And here is Bjorn right here. And yeah, he just says that this is all really silly. At the beginning of here, they talk about this WAPO article that their indoor plants come at a cost to the planet, and here's how to minimize it. And there's Bjorn. He looks like a reasonable guy. He sounds reasonable too, because he says, look, you're not going to solve climate change by telling people to be poor, and be colder, and be less comfortable, fly less, drive less. Now have less plants, okay? What's next? Okay, he says you're gonna do fix climate change through innovation. Yeah. And he says right here, innovation is what's going to work. And I don't know how much innovation we need. What we need is Fox News and Mike Adams and Natural News giving us good environmental news where we just implement sound principles. Okay? Just implement the solutions the world needs, and then we can silence all of this ridiculous environmental talk, coming down to the point where they're telling you plants in your home. Houseplants. Houseplant ownership could be bad for the planet. Okay, plants clean your ear. plants do good things. Okay, and yeah, plants, they clean your ear just by being there. They produce oxygen. This is just ridiculous. And if any one of these people would bring you good news, we would be on solutions. And if we had done solutions since 93, this wouldn't even be a conversation anymore. So stay tuned, people.